Hello everyone, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. There is a button just down there which is subscribe. Kindly subscribe to this YouTube so that when I post anything on this YouTube channel, you actually get to be notified to say Gift has posted something on his YouTube page. So today I want us to look at a very interesting component in education management and administration, or in just management and administration. And I want us today to actually look at the 14 principles that Henry Fayol came up with. So Henry Fayol came up with these principles so that they can actually be recognized widely by each and every organization that we have in the world. So that is why he actually came up with these principles that are supposed to be considered as you are managing an institution or as you are managing an organization. So I actually made a memory aid or something that can help you memorize the the 14 principles that we have, or that any file came up with. And this is dad, you see USSR, and then dad says, oh, I see. Now, what do these letters mean? What do they mean? Yeah, so the first one is D, and D is for division of labor. That is D. D is division of labor. That is talking about at a certain organization, we should actually divide the work, or the what we call specialization. So as we are working, or as we are involved, as we are at these organization, employees are supposed to be actually divided into what they are specialized in. For example, let's take for instance a school setup. At school, we have a lot of teachers, and these teachers do not actually teach the same thing or the same subject. Different teachers teach different subjects. That is what we are looking at. That is what Henry Fayol came up with, to say work is supposed to be divided among the employees at that organization. As a manager, you should make sure that the work is actually divided among the employees that you have. So that is what we are looking at. And then we also have authority. That is A, meaning that DA. Authority is actually telling us to say, as a manager, there is actually that authority that you are going to be given. And that authority will actually give you that power to actually direct people and to command people to say, okay, do this. And that commanding will also come with what we call the responsibility. The responsibility that you are going to have. Because as you tell someone to say, okay, do that, that person should do that. You should check that has been what has been done. So as you are trying to actually you as you are given that authority, it comes also with that responsibility to make sure that the work is being is done, and what you actually told an employee an employee to do, it has been actually done at its best. So that is what we are looking at. That is authority. And then D, we have what we call discipline. When you're looking at discipline, there are two things that are involved when you're looking at discipline. Discipline carries what we call obey and also respect. When you're looking at obeying and respect, if your employees, they are not actually going to follow certain agreements or certain rules that have been actually developed, then we cannot actually have the smooth running of this organization. So that organization should actually have these employees or these people who are actually looking at the agreement and respecting and obeying these agreements that we are actually looking at. So that is what we actually look at. And then we also have U, which is that you see USSR, now U, meaning unit of unit of command. So when we are looking at the unity of command, the unit of command, for example, let's take this example of a school setup. We have the headmaster, we have the deputy head teacher, we have the head of department. So these guys actually have people that are under them. For example, the head teacher can command the deputy teacher, and the deputy teacher can also give some actually direction to the what, to actually the HODs that he has actually he is looking actually at. So we have that command where this one is going to submit to this one will submit to this one. That is the unit of command that we are actually looking at there on DAD you see. And then we also have what we call subordination of individual interest to general interest. There are people who just perform for the sake of actually them being seen. But what we have, what ND5 came up with, is you know, we should actually submit our individual interest to the well-being of the what of that organization. So you should not just work independently. No, we should actually teamwork should be there so that at least we are working towards achieving the interest of the company or the interest of that institution or the interest of that organization. That is what we are looking at. And then also we have E, which is you see equity. Equity, we are looking at equalness. So as you are looking at these employees, as you are a manager, you are managing these your employees, and these guys, you should make sure that there is actually equalness. There should be that equalness that should be there. So as if they equity comes in when there is equalness, so there should be that equalness. The treatment should be just equal, and the way you actually look at them in what in an equal way. So that is what we are looking at there. And then we have also E, which is spirituality. We have what we call now esprit de corps. We have what we call esprit de corps. Now, when we are looking at esprit de corps, what is it that we are looking at? What is it that we are looking at? When we are looking at esprit de corps, what we are actually looking at is now teamwork, working together, making sure that you work together as what? As a company. You make sure that you work together as what? As a company. That is what we are looking at. That is esprit what? De corps. And this is French because the guy who actually came up with these 14 principles is Enify, who is a French what? Who is a French man. So that is what we are looking at. Yeah. So another point that we have, meaning you see USSR, we are looking at this. Let me just highlight it. So meaning C, we said scalar de chain, equity, meaning this one is split the corps. And then now we have now U, this one, USSR, that is what we have now. And then we have unit of what? Direction, unit of direction there. Now, what is it that we are looking at when we say unit of direction? So what we are looking at when we say unit of direction is just working towards achieving the what, the objectives or the set goals. You are actually going to set some objectives that are supposed to actually be covered. So these objectives that we have are the objectives that are supposed to be what, to be covered, and they should actually be looked at. That is what we are looking at when we say the unit of what, direction. And then also we have another one which is S, USSR. I know if you did history, you know that USSR is actually a combination of actually countries that were in the past came together to actually form something. So we have what we call stability of what, tenure. When we are looking at stability of tenure, as you employ people, they should actually be security. The employment that you actually do, if you employ someone, you should make sure that there is security so that that person, for example, you say you employ someone, maybe a teacher at your school for 2 years. Let that 2 years actually for you to terminate the contract, you should make sure that that 2 years or 10 years, whatever you agree upon, is actually fulfilled. Not whereby premature termination of what, of a certain job for someone. No, you should actually make sure that there is that stability of tenure. They should sit for that period of time that has been agreed upon or that is stipulated. Yeah. And then we also have scalar de chain. When we say scalar de chain, we are looking at a well stipulated line of power. So we actually have a well stipulated line of power. For example, we have the headmaster, we have the deputy head, we have the head of we have the class teachers, the ordinary teachers now. We have the head boy, the head girl, like that. So we have that scale at the chain. They actually the line of authority is well stipulated. So at an organization or at this institution, you should make sure that each and every chain of actually that is well what is stipulated. That is what we are actually looking at. That is what we are looking at there. And then we also have remuneration. Remuneration. So what we are looking at on remuneration is just payments and rewards are supposed to be accordingly, are supposed to be actually given accordingly, not whereby you get to be biased. No, make sure you actually give them their, for example, their payments and their rewards accordingly. That is what we are looking at. They should actually be given accordingly to what they deserve. If you are giving them the work that they have done, make sure even the money that they are given is just something that is according to what they have actually done. That is remuneration. And then we also have what we call order. You know, you cannot actually not run an institution or an organization without order being there. So if you are actually going to remove that order from there, meaning you do not actually know what you are looking at. So they should actually be that order. You should actually put, for example, that is why we have departments, we have actually we have sections. So meaning these departments, if we say okay, English department or languages department, they are there. Social studies department, that is the order that we are looking at. So that when you need something from maybe languages department, you just go direct. If you want something from mathematics department, you just go straight to mathematics what department. That is what we are looking at. And then we also have IC initiative. So initiative there is trying to tell us to say employees that are there, you should motivate them. You should actually tell them to say they should be innovative in the sense that they should be able to bring out new ideas. Employees are supposed to bring out new ideas so that you see the actually you see your organization or that institution going forward and running what smoothly. That is what we are looking at. And then the last one, OIC, is what we call centralization. Centralization, we are looking at nowadays the systems that we have in these organizations and or these institutions that we actually look at or companies have been decentralized in the sense that in the past we actually did receive decisions and also making of rules and actually laws from our superiors. For example, the government is going to tell you what to do as a school and no one is going to say anything. Now when you look at the school, it has been decentralized in the sense that headmasters, deputy headmasters, they have actually now been given that power to also make decisions, to also decide on certain things. So centralization, what NFIO is trying to tell us is, you make sure that as you are getting these, as you are making decisions, decisions are supposed to come from people, or from a manager, just from managers that, or from the superiors. That is where now decision making and some of the rules and laws are supposed to come from. That is what we are looking at. So my name is Gift Chungu Chungu, and I just wanted us to actually look at the 14 principles of any file, or the principles that actually helps us in understanding what management is and how it can actually be taken. Thank you very much.